Well, guys, Kishimoto is back in his bag and giving us crazy updates about Sonic Frontiers. As we all know, a while back, we saw some Kishimoto tweets that talked about Supreme and the final boss probably getting changed in later updates, and he still has held true to that. It does seem like we will be getting Supreme updates, and that's something a lot of people seem to forget about. And honestly, this is a pattern that I've noticed with the Sonic community recently. They keep forgetting what's going to be happening with these updates, but it makes complete sense as they aren't advertising it and it's secret updates, quote unquote, that come along with the planned updates, such as Spin Dash and potentially Momentum, Supreme changes, all these things that keep getting talked about. People keep forgetting about them. But that's why I'm here to remind you guys and talk about this stuff, because I feel like there's not enough creators talking about all this stuff going on with Kishimoto, which is kind of wild to me. So I'm here to do the job. And truth be told, we just got some really big news on Twitter when it comes to a brand new update that's coming. And it's hard to believe still that a lot of this stuff is actually happening. I'm really excited to see Kishimoto cook it up so that way he can prepare for the next Sonic game. But alright, before I get into what this big update is...
Hey, 70% of you aren't subscribed, and 40,000 of you keep coming back to these videos. So why not hit the subscribe button? It severely helps the channel. Thanks, guys!
So it seems Kishimoto on Twitter just confirmed that Oranos Island, the final island in the game, is going to be getting a big update. But before we talk about that, Kishimoto also explains why they split up Kronos Island into 3 different islands. And in this tweet right here, Kishimoto says, "Hello, as you might guess, Kronos was originally an island. When we did playtests in the early stages of production, we received a lot of feedback from testers saying that the island was too big and it was boring, all the time grass and boring. So the decision here of splitting up Kronos Island into 3 different islands probably made the rest of the game better, but the end of Oranos Island probably for the worse. Now I will say Oranos Island is probably one of the most fun islands, but it's more so the ending of the island. And this decision to split it up probably made them have to rush a little bit because they had one clear vision for one big island and then suddenly to split it up, so they had to do different things for each island. But overall, like I said, I think that's the main culprit why the island doesn't probably live up to the hype." So Kishimoto continues on in his tweet thread saying, "However, as everyone pointed out here, I also agree that the climax of Oranos Island, which is the largest island, lacks excitement and becomes repetitive. We are currently working on an update for this issue as well." So you guys heard it straight from the keys of Kishimoto himself. He is going to be putting an update out for Sonic Frontiers that will change what exactly about Oranos Island, I don't know, but he says he's going to make it less repetitive, and plus this combined with the Supreme update will probably be a really cool thing to do. Now, I don't know if he could be just referring to only the Supreme update as the climax of the game, or just the entire island in general, because he just says Oranos Island is probably the biggest island that lacks excitement and has repetitiveness. Which honestly, I don't really agree with that fully. I did think it was the best island, but more so just my problems with the game were with the combat side of things, and dealing with the enemies in an island weren't that fun. But regardless, this is still a big deal, and this really makes me wonder, how big are these updates really going to be? Because they have main title plan updates, but these side updates are pretty substantial. It's kind of a shock that they aren't going to be advertising these things, and they're really big updates. Adding a Spin Dash, that's a whole brand new feature, and they're not even going to market it. So when Kishimoto says things on Twitter like this is a secret update, it makes me wonder, is this like not technically Sega approved to like market, and this is something that they're just actually sliding into the game without Sega's full approval for marketing? Because the thing that's being marketed is the main updates that's on the roadmap. So we're not seeing the Spin Dash or Supreme updates or any of that on the roadmap, and I guess they're sliding these into the game as bug fixes, quote unquote, or patches. So that's a really genius way to slide in these things into the game before waiting till Sonic Frontiers 2. And this overall shows me that Kishimoto is just very passionate about this franchise and the games that he's working on. Even though people may have not liked his games in the past, he is very passionate about this and wants to work his hardest to make sure that the fans are happy with the things that we're getting. And honestly, I commend him for that, and that does make me look at Sonic Frontiers in a better light, because it just makes me happy that someone out there is listening and that this product that I like decently enough can become better because the director wants to improve upon the things that we're asking. I don't know. I think this is very cool personally, and I can't wait to see these updates come to fruition. And let me know in the comments below, are you guys excited for these updates? Do you think it's going to make the game a lot better, or it's not going to change much? Let me know in the comments below, and like always, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.
Well, whatever happens, happens.